Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever wondered where browsers store data like login info, theme preference or auth token? So in this video we will clearly understand local storage, session storage and cookies storage, what they are, how they work and when to use which one. So let's get started. So today we are going to cover all the following point in this video. So first we will see what is browser storage and where the browser storage exists in the browser, and then we'll see what is local storage, what is session storage and what is cookies storage. And basically we are going to cover all the following point with live example so that you can have a better understanding where to use, what we should use as per our requirement. Let's move to our first point. What is browser storage? So browser storage defines, like browser storage means storing data on the client side inside the browser itself. So this data can be used to remember user preference, store temporary data, manage authentication. And browser mainly provide three storage mechanism: local storage, session storage and cookies storage. And all the three have different lifecycle mechanism, like when they created, when they expire and how we can access it. So let's see how we can access browser storage in the browser. So you have to press F12 and you can see the dev tools, and in the dev tools you have to go to application tab, and in the left side of the panel you can see the local storage, session storage and the cookies storage. So this is how you can access browser, this is how you can see browser storage in the browser. Okay, so let's move to our next point. What is local storage? So definition says local storage is used to store data permanently in the browser. So even if you close the browser or restart your system, the data is still there. So means your data of local storage could not affect if you open browser, if you close the browser, if you open tab or close the tab. Okay, so let's see the key point of local storage. So first point says access through JavaScript, means we can access local storage data through the JavaScript code. Then second point says it never expires if you close the browser or if you close the system or restart your system. So local storage data is still alive, it will not expire. Okay, then the third point says we can store 5 to 10 MB of data in local storage. So it could vary from browser to browser. Suppose Chrome could have different capability, Firefox could have different capability and Edge could be have a different capability. So it could vary. And next point says not sent to server automatically. So means suppose you are storing your access token in local storage. Now you have to write an extra logic to add that access token in every request. Means local storage data does not send to server automatically. We explicitly need to write an extra logic to add that data. Okay, next point says follow same origin policy. Means suppose there is one application called Excalidraw. So Excalidraw cannot access the data of another Excalidraw cannot access the local storage of another application and vice versa. Okay, so let's see the behavior of local storage with live example. So you have to go to next tab. Now go to next console. Okay, now first we see the local storage. Now you can see there is no any data in the local storage. There is no data in local storage. Now let's see how we can add data in local storage. So in the console you have to write local storage dot set item, and in the set item you have to pass data in key value pair. So first you have to pass key, which is I am passing user info, and in the value I am passing my name. Okay, now when I press enter, now the data is added in this local storage. If you want to verify, you can go to application tab, and here you can see that the data is added in the local storage. Okay, so now let's see how we can access local storage data. So to access local storage data, you have to write local storage dot get item, and in the get item you have to pass the key So our key is user info, and press enter so you can get the value. Okay, so this is how we can access local storage data through JavaScript. Now there is one point called data never expires. So let's verify this point. So suppose there is one data which we have added. Now when I close the tab and when I open the tab, let's see the data is there or not. Okay, now you can see the data is still in the local storage. It's not affected. So means data never expires from the local storage. So how we can expire data, how we can remove data from local storage? So if you want to remove data from local storage, so you have to remove you have remove item, and the remove item you have to again pass user info. Okay, now the data has been removed from the application. Now you can verify there. So now you can see here there is no data in the local storage. So this is how you can add I had a data in local storage, remove data from local storage, and get data from local storage. So this is the live example. So there is one more important thing of local storage which we should know, that local storage is not a cross-site scripting safe. So what does cross-site scripting safe, cross-site scripting means? So definition says cross-site scripting is an attack where an attacker injects malicious JavaScript into a website and that script runs in another user's browser. So let's see with flow. Let's see with one example flow. So suppose in an application there is one comment section. So if user enter nice video as a comment, so it will show as nice video. But what if hacker inject a JavaScript code? So this JavaScript code will execute in others user browser and they will get a pop-up called hacked. Okay, so this is only a just alert message, but now as we know that we can access local storage data through JavaScript, so they can steal your local storage data through this script tag. So this is what cross-site scripting attack means. So local storage is not cross-site scripting safe. So where we should use local storage? So we should use local storage to store our themes like language selection or user preference. So let's see what Excalidraw stores data in local storage. So this is the local storage of Excalidraw which we are using currently. So you can see they are storing the Excalidraw themes like light. Let's see what if I change the theme. So if I change the theme, okay, now you can see the value of Excalidraw themes change instantly. So this is how we can store our data in local storage. So we should not store any confidential data in local storage because someone can easily access it. Okay, so let's move to our next point. What is session storage? So session storage says like session storage is almost same as local storage, but with one major difference. Data exists only till the browser tab is open. So once the tab is closed, so data will be removed immediately. So let's see the key point of session storage. So data cleared when tab closes. So session storage is stored data on the tab basis. Means suppose if you open 4 tab of an application, so all the 4 tab have different isolated session storage. So means one tab cannot access the session storage of another tab. Now if I talk about the size of session storage, so it's nearby 5 MB, and again here session storage data not sent to server automatically, we need to add an extra logic for it, and it's also follow the same origin policy. And if I talk about use case of session storage, so you can use session storage in multi-step form. So suppose there are multiple fields in a form and you don't want to lose the data when you refresh the page, so you can store the field input data in session storage. And similarly e-commerce payment checkout, you can store payment information in SessionStorage. And here again, SessionStorage is not a cross-site scripting shape. So we should avoid storing our confidential information in SessionStorage. So let's see the behavior of SessionStorage with live example. So let me go to next tab and open console. Now let's see, is there any data available in SessionStorage? So there is no data available in SessionStorage. So let's see how we can add data in SessionStorage. So for that you have to write session storage dot set item, and here you have to pass value in key value pair. So here I am passing key like users data, and in the value I am passing my name only, SAURABH. Now when I press enter, now the data is added in SessionStorage. Now let's verify. So now you can see the users data is key and value Saurabh is added in the SessionStorage. Now let's see how we can access this SessionStorage data. So SessionStorage dot get item, and here again you need to pass the key. So I am passing users data. Now I am able to access SessionStorage data. Okay, so let's verify this point. Let's verify this point. The data exists only till the browser tab is open. So let's see what if I close the browser, so this data is removed or not. So I am closing these tabs. Now let me check the data is removed or not. So yeah, data is removed. So let's move to our next point. What is cookies storage? So cookies are the oldest way of storing data in browser. The main difference is cookies are sent to the server with every HTTP request. So let's see what does it means. So when you make login request, server generate access token, and we store access token in cookies storage of the client. So now here you don't need to add an extra logic to add that access token in every request. So cookies are automatically sent to the server with every request. Okay, so let's see the key point of cookies storage. So cookies storage is very small in size, nearby 4 KB. So when we compare the cookies storage with local storage and session storage, so it's very small size. And cookies storage can have expiry date and time. So it will expire on the basis of expiry date and time. It will not affect if you close the browser, if you restart the system. Okay. So the third point says less secure if not handled properly. So what does means? So cookies have extra flag that control who can access them and when they are sent. The three most important are HTTP only, secure, and same site. So let's see what all threes are. What is HTTP only? The HTTP only means JavaScript cannot access the cookies. So if your cookies is HTTP only, so you cannot access through JavaScript. So it protect against cross-site scripting. So it is solving our local storage and session storage problem. Okay, so what is secure means? So secure means cookies is sent only over HTTPS. So if your cookies it's secure, so means your cookies is sent only over HTTPS. Your cookies is not going to send over HTTP. And what is same site is strict means? Same site means, so same site control whether cookies is sent in cross-site request or not. Okay, so this protect against CSRF attack. Okay, so if your cookies same site is strict, means that means if your front end and back end are in different domain, then in that case cookies is not going to send. Okay, and if your cookies it's same site none, so in that case cookies will be sent in all the requests. So this is how cookies storage work. Let's see the cookies of Excalidraw. So you have to go to application tab and you can see the cookies storage. Now you can see there are two cookies. The one is X plus auth and the second one is theme. So let's see that are we able to access cookies storage. Okay, so here we are able to access theme dark. So let's see. So as you can see, the first cookies is HTTP only, so we are not able to access first cookies, but the second cookies theme is not HTTP only, so we are able to access that cookies. So this is how we can access cookies through JavaScript, and which we cannot access through JavaScript. So that's all for the today's video. Thank you for watching.